Hey, so in our previous video, I forgot to mention two other heart parts. So you have the chordae tendineae and the papillary muscles. So these two work together to open the valves and keep the valve flaps from flowing out. So basically, you have a valve right here where blood passes through and then closes up. And the reason they don't open up like this is because there is a chordae tendineae, which is attached to the papillary muscle, which pulls the valve down when the blood needs to pass through. And when the blood is done passing through, the valve snaps back but doesn't get pulled. Doesn't snap back far enough for the blood to go back in to the previous chamber. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the respiratory system. And the respiratory system works closely with the cardiovascular system. So we're just going to go through real quickly the flow of blood through the cardiovascular system. So typically, blood comes in, or you breathe in air through your nose. And the reason we do this is because there's certain structures in the nose which help the air. So when the blood is taken in through the nares, which are your nostrils, it passes into the air goes through and gets spun around in the turbinates after passing the little cilia, which are your little hairs inside your nose. 1 second, I'm figuring this out. Okay. So it passes through the nares and the turbinates in your nose, and then it goes into it passes down through what we call the throat. So there are several structures actually to the throat than just the throat. So we have the epiglottis, which keeps food and anything else from getting into the trachea when it shouldn't be. Like if you're eating, food should go in your esophagus, but it doesn't go in your trachea because of that epiglottis. And the epiglottis protects your glottis, which is your voice box, under. We have your larynx, which are your voice, your vocal cords. And then you have the pharynx, which is divided into 3 sections. Goes down here into the trachea, and the trachea is it's a long tube that's ribbed on one half of it with cartilage. So it's like this right here, and it's ribbed, and that goes down here, and then right here it branches off into your bronchi. And then the bronchi break out into bronchioles, which eventually break down into the terminal bronchiole, where the alveoli and the capillaries that are in the alveoli are. This is where the actual exchange of gases occur, in that alveoli. And then at that alveoli, the exchange occurs, and then that fresh air that is oxygenated now comes, or the fresh air and blood now goes into the body, and then your carbon dioxide comes back up and leaves as you exhale. So that is the respiratory system.